This episode of Breaking Down the Ring is brought to you by Chawla Legal Group Estate Planning. Estate planning is for everyone. Whether you're worth $4,000 or $40 million, estate planning can help protect you, your family, and your assets while you're alive and well. Damn. To register for an upcoming workshop today, go to chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157. Again, that's chawlalegal.com/workshops or call 586-273-7157.
What the Rock is cooking.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Did you guys know that SummerSlam weekend is upon us? Did you know that NXT TakeOver in Toronto is upon us? We will make our NXT TakeOver picks. We will talk about how SummerSlam is going to be the biggest party here in Detroit, and you can come and watch it for free with the Ring Crew. We're also going to talk AEW announcing their next 2 dates for their weekly shows on TNT, plus the King of Bros made some headlines and got mocked by Jericho. We're going to get into all that and more this week as we
the ring down. Woo! You don't know what hard times are, Daddy. The cream rise to the top, oh yeah. Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. You just made the list. This right here is a family.
Hey, this is professional wrestler and professional podcaster Colt Boom Boom Cabana.
My name is Killer Cross.
This is The Smoke Show, Scarlett Bordeaux.
What's up, guys? The After Machine, Brian Cage.
This is Ryan from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Sadly, you are not listening to The Art of Wrestling, but you made a decent choice because you're listening.
You are now listening to...
And you're listening
to Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring.
Breaking Down the Ring. Bring it down.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the most inappropriate pro wrestling show in the motherfucking world. You're listening to Breaking Down the Ring. We are your ring crew.
I be Smith.
I be Nick.
I be the whole fucking Joe.
And I be the almighty one, Mikey himself. Before we get into everything, ladies and gentlemen, remember, follow us on Facebook because you want to catch all of our events. And this Sunday, we are watching SummerSlam at the Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Detroit. 1218 Randolph Street, Detroit, Michigan. Parking is free on Sundays. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have prizes. We will have giveaways. This one is on the second floor, just like our WrestleMania party. But this time, we're taking over both bars. We're going to have a whole bunch of people there, bunch of giveaways, bunch of prizes. We're going to do things. We're going to have some fun. You fucking want to be there. We fucking want you to be there. So make sure you're at the downtown Detroit Buffalo Wild Wings for the SummerSlam party. And please remember, there is no cover. It will be family friendly. So you can bring your kid, and we won't even say the word cunt to their face. To their face.
To their face.
To their face. It's the only time we won't say it. We won't, hey, what can I do for you, you little cunt? No, we won't do that.
We're not Marshawn Lynch right now.
I mean, maybe we will. I'm not, I'm just going to go ahead and put out a disclaimer. We're the most inappropriate wrestling show in the world for some reason.
Because we don't give a fuck.
Yep, that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you show up to the Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Detroit, and let's get it on with the discussions for today. First and foremost, boys, how we doing today? Smitty, how you feeling?
I live in color.
Oh, all right. Fire Marshal Bill. Nick, what you doing, man? How's the belt holding up, bro?
Cunt. Oh. It's all right. It's not bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it looking good in your house?
Goddamn Tourette's. I'm getting close to being able to fit it around my waist. I've been shedding some of the pounds. So
is the kid rocking the belt yet?
No.
Oh.
Nope. She's
Good.
held it a couple times.
That's bad.
I just make sure it's by the ends. By the end.
Definitely don't want it in the
yeah.
center. Yeah.
Don't touch the
Well,
middle of the belt.
Yeah, you remember the ends though were the other side of the man's body.
There's really no
And there's not,
safe spot on that
Yeah,
thing.
Callie, if you're listening, go wash your fucking hands.
It's woo, man. I am so glad we're getting a brand new fucking belt for this. So
My kids are not on that belt.
Joe, how are you doing this week, sir?
Oh, I'm happy to be here. I'm done with dealing with humanity, and I'm happy to be here to talk some wrestling, drink some beer. So let's do this.
Before we talk about wrestling, I do want to talk about Joe's presence on Facebook. Let it be known for anyone, if this show brings you anything, it should bring you a friendship with Joe on Facebook. And just so you can see where Joe replies on things, random things that you're not even fucking that interested in. All of a sudden, Joe will have a comment, and then the entire fucking world gets pissed off at Joe.
That's the greatest thing in the world.
Because he doesn't like something. It blows my mind. The last one was fucking Hobbs and Shaw. When he's like, he goes, this Fast and Furious franchise he thinks is the worst fucking thing in the world. And so this is still wrestling because it's The Rock. And fucking someone was like, you fucking suck. And it was like, what? And they're like, yeah, you're a piece of fucking shit, Mark, blah, blah, like ripping into his ass because he said that the Fast and Furious, all he said was the Fast and Furious franchise is one of the worst franchises in movie history.
How dare you?
He doesn't like it. And that's fine. But then people attack Joe. So then Joe comes back, says, listen here, you piece of shit. And finally, that's the first time I called anyone anything on this fucking site because I only don't care about the fucking movies. But now you're attacking me, so I'm attacking you. And then people get real pissed off at Joe for attacking the Mac.
And
It's
then
weird.
I love the rant he went on inside the chat about like people and their fucking opinions.
It's great.
I personally singled out each and every single person on that
did.
thread with a specific attack, rebuttal attack at that, but it was a specific one to each different person.
And also in Joe's defense, the Fast and Furious movies are overrated.
It was so fun. I just buried the fuck out of people. It's great.
I have never watched a Fast and the Furious.
I saw the
movie
very first one, and that was enough.
I've
Now they have like Transformers and like, aliens in them and shit.
I've never
or
watched it
something.
for anything more than I want to see what they're doing now. You know, I've never gone to any Fast and the Furious movie and go, man, this is a cinematic masterpiece.
Even the first one, it was.
I'm still gonna see Hobbs and Shaw.
It was Point Break with cars.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the first one. I was like 18, 19. I was like, it's pretty fucking cool.
I'm gonna see Hobbs and Shaw. Why? Because The Rock's in it, and 2, I have AMC A-list, so I
You
can
get
see
free,
three
you get
free
free
movies
a
week.
month. It was a week, or I thought it was a month.
A
Yuppie.
week.
Oh wow, I need to go ahead and do
Yeah,
that one.
it's AMC and it's IMAX, it's 3D, it's anything that
Yeah,
they have.
anything they got.
$20 a month, and you get to see 3 free movies a week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dolby Atmos theaters.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So fucking, I don't give a fucking shit. All right. That being said, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, guys. Let's talk about some AEW news. AEW has a lot of stuff going on right now, and they're dropping new videos left and right because their chicks are there left and right. But they made an announcement after one of the more recent being the Elite videos where a lot of things were bleeped out onto their next 2 shows, weekly shows for our AEW on TNT. The second week, they're going to be in Boston, Massachusetts. And the third week, they'll be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Been there.
So these are 2 pretty decent-sized wrestling towns. Let's be very honest.
Oh no, those are Mark cities.
Boston is a popular city, and I fully agree that Philadelphia is the purest of Mark cities. Philadelphia will let you know about yourself before you know about yourself. And they
2300
are
arena.
very unapologetic with it, and that's spectacular.
If they don't like you, they'll let you know. They're not afraid to let you know.
So let me
The
start.
home of ECW.
So I'm going to start with you, Joe. They announced Boston and Philly. Do you think that this is going to be a sellout situation like their first? Because they sold out. They sold out in fucking Washington, D.C. That's where their first show is going to be. That sold out. Do you think that we're going to be looking at 2 more sellouts with Boston?
Yeah,
and,
I wouldn't be surprised if the first couple of months of shows just sell out just due to the cool new kid on the block coolness factor, you know.
all right.
I mean, they're really cool right now.
They are.
So I think that'll carry them at least a month or 2 into TVs. And Philly will be a good test Because if they don't like something, they'll let them know, even if they are the new cool kid on the block, you know?
Yeah, Philly doesn't give a shit about your status.
But if they can get over in Philly, that'll be huge for them.
And that'll also bring in that hardcore fan base.
Yeah.
Smitty, so you're thinking, are these two good cities to go to for AEW to keep it going?
Yeah, because Boston's a big sports town, and if like say Philly's one of probably the most hardcore marked town when it comes to professional wrestling.
Do you think it is the most hardcore marked town, or do you think somewhere else might be?
I think it's between there and New York.
Really? I would have thought Chicago.
I would say Chicago would be in my top 3.
I think Philly's tougher to get over in than Chicago.
Okay.
And I say Chicago is more so, right, and that's more.
Chicago's
of a
like a
recent one.
raucous crowd, but I think they're more apt to cheer for people, whereas Philly, they're probably
looking for something-
tougher on people, more critical.
They're looking. I think the Philadelphia crowd's looking for something to hate you for.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't give a
I
fuck.
think so too.
So currently they're sitting on the East Coast. They're going Washington, D.C., they hit Boston, they hit Philadelphia. Nick, do you think that, if you had to take some guesses, all right, for the fourth city, and obviously it seems like they're chilling East Coast for a little bit, where do you think is a good next step for the city to go to?
Well, unless they backtrack, I honestly think Detroit's got a good shot at it.
Yeah?
I was thinking the same thing.
You know,
That of New York.
Detroit, I mean, seems like they usually sell pretty well, sell a lot of tickets when, WWE comes to town. And I think there's like you said, AEW's hot right now. So
What building would they run in New York, and what building, if they came to Detroit, do you think they'd run?
Hammerstein Ballroom in New York.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Detroit.
How big is the Hammerstein Ballroom?
Not very big though.
It's not very big,
Yeah.
but
because their first.
but it's also an iconic place to have a wrestling show.
What
Have
is
one of
their-
your first wrestling shows.
I'm sorry, their first TV is what, 8,000 seats, 10,000 tickets.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, which would be a lot bigger than the Hammerstein.
Yeah.
What's it? But Hammerstein would be something easy, and it's also an iconic place for
If it
wrestling.
was, that would, yeah, of course that would sell out like immediately.
And then like Detroit, I'd probably see them maybe at the Fillmore, or actually go out to Royal Oak and do something at Royal Oak Music Theater maybe.
How many people respectively can both those facilities hold, you think?
For what now?
The Fillmore or
Royal Oak.
Royal Oak Music Theater.
Royal Oak puts in 2,000. So they're way beyond Royal Oak. I don't even think they're already at a fucking arenas, dude. Let's be very honest. Like, they're at the Agganis Arena in Boston, and
Who plays there? Is that like a minor league hockey team or something?
Leah Chorus Center in I couldn't fucking tell you. I'm just literally looking at the photos right now. 925 Commonwealth Avenue, Boston, Massachusetts is where they're going to be, and for Boston, and it is and they'll be at the Leah Chorus Center at Temple University.
They've been
for
to college.
Philadelphia. I would. You know what? You're right. I wasn't even thinking about it. Let's take a look at this. Leah Course.
So yeah, it was, Detroit. That was one I thought it would be harder when see where they would book.
Leah Course Center has a capacity of 10,200, and the Agganis Arena, and that's 10,200 where without adding extra chairs, right?
Yeah.
there's not many spots in Detroit that you can go like in between, a 2,000 or 3,000 seat Royal Oak or Fillmore to a 20,000 seat arena like Little Caesars.
That's what I was thinking.
Boston is 7,200. The Agganis
So
Arena.
Hammerstein would be a good fit still for our first show. Or where did they used to do Raw at in New York when it first started?
Hammerstein.
Wasn't Hammerstein, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Hammerstein ballroom capacity is a grand total of 2,200. That is
It's way smaller. Yeah.
well. It's so in people. Madison Square Garden holds 20,000. Radio City Music Hall holds 66,000. Not 66,000. Sorry, 6,000. God damn it, 6,015 people. If you're looking for Detroit, right? And you're looking for thinking Little Caesars Arena capacity. Little Caesars Arena holds
That's
a grand
20,000.
total of
21.
19,515.
Let's say about
For
20,000.
hockey, 20,491 for basketball, which means you can get 22 if you're putting in wrestling and you're putting in those extra 200 trips. Fuck, 2,500, 2,005. You know, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we know where you're going.
I know what you're trying. I'm not. I know what the fuck I'm trying to say.
I know we got preseason football coming, so if
So,
Maybe four.
Okay, then let's talk. So we think Royal Oak Music Theater, not Royal Oak Music Theater. We're thinking maybe the Fox. You think the Fox could do?
the Fox is just really awkwardly shaped.
Okay.
For that, so
How
I
many
couldn't see a
does it
show
seat
there.
though?
Because the Fox is just the way the Fox shaped. The way the Fox is actually shaped and put together. I don't think it will be a good place to try to host a wrestling show. Where the Fillmore is a little different.
Well, and like I don't know about the Fox's seating on the floor.
5,174 for Fox Theater.
If you can take out those seats, because obviously at Royal Oak they had it basically with NXT. It's on pretty much the main floor.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. And they don't really use fucking Kobo for.
Yeah, Joe.
Anything.
Yeah,
Oh, Kobo actually would be a nice one.
Because that would be good.
Yeah, Kobo Center.
Yeah.
It might be a pretty decent spot for them. Yeah, because they could have the floor and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, the main
Yeah.
exhibition room.
Yep. Kobo Arena would be actually, unless you go to the outskirts. If you, like you said, you can hit a couple things. Like if you go to, let's say, what's the Michigan's basketball?
Chrysler Arena.
Chrysler Arena.
Yeah, they could go there.
Oh, the Palace is still up, isn't it? Oh, they turned down. I forgot they blew down the Palace, didn't they?
No, it's still
Oh, it's still
there.
up. Oh, the Palace.
Palace is way too big.
Yeah. You just we're on the outskirts.
13,751.
There you go.
So you can go to Ann Arbor, do it in the Michigan area if you're going to do something like that. And I think I would travel. I would go to Ann Arbor for a fucking Wednesday night. I mean, we would honestly have to have no show that night. But let's be honest, we have no idea what our schedule is going to be starting in October anyway.
Yeah.
Because we might. Yes, we're a Wednesday night show. They said Jesse said that they filled the MGM Grand Arena and they should do the T-Mobile Arena next.
Well, T-Mobile is. That's in. Well, fuck. Where's the T-Mobile?
If they're going out to Vegas.
Oh, if we got to Vegas.
Yeah, things like that. So these are other arenas that are just as big. I mean, again, so
Motor City Soundboard. Motor City. If you get Motor City Soundboard or one of the casinos, we got MGM Grand out here. And if they've already done work with MGM, booking another MGM shouldn't be too hard.
Motor City Soundboard capacity 1,500 seats.
So Motor City or MGM? Well,
No, Motor City Soundboard.
oh,
is
no,
too
mind.
small.
Too small.
It would probably be better to do like a college's basketball thing. I would love to see them
In the city.
closer to here, but that makes sense. What is it? Spartan Stadium for Michigan State?
Yeah.
No, that's their football. That's their football thing. Michigan State basketball.
Eastern is like the Eastern Michigan Convocation Center or something.
The
Breslin Center. There
Yep.
it is.
So the Breslin Center. Let's see. Capacity 15,000. So it probably might make some more sense to do Michigan State. I mean, to do Michigan, because that's a 10,000 capacity. Get you around 11,000 with the extra chairs and everything on the floor. So are we thinking that maybe within the first 10 you see him in Detroit, Nick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there's a real good shot.
Smitty, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
First 10?
10,
Yeah.
15.
Why would it take longer than 10 weeks?
I think they're because the way it seems like they're progressing, they're going further east and they're not coming back this way yet.
You can't go further east, sir.
Outside of going
Unless
to
you go into
York.
the water. No,
Boston, and then Philly, and then Detroit.
it's kind of
You can still hit. New
They're
York at that
already
point.
east.
yeah. They're already east. We're talking 1,000
They
miles
got
apart.
they're starting east and they're going to make their way back west. It looks like.
I feel like we need Chris Farley here from Waynesville. He's like, coming through to Chicago. It's way to Detroit.
So, Joe, are you thinking the same thing? Within the first 10 shows, we might see something AEW here.
Yeah, because what are the major hot spots around the East to Midwest area. They're already doing Philly and Boston. You got New York.
Chicago's already here.
Us, Chicago. I mean,
Maybe Cleveland.
You could do something in Cleveland.
Yeah.
so, but yeah, with all those cities, and there's still, what 3-4 more spots to fill in the top 10. I don't see how Detroit couldn't be a spot. I mean, there's
If 10 at the latest.
so much
they're
history
gonna-
of wrestling in Detroit. This is a wrestling town, you know. We had big
can
time
forget
wrestling
about
with the Sheik. We had 2 WrestleManias. We've had tons of special moments
The
in
city's on
Detroit.
the rebound, you know.
Yeah,
Not
it
according
has
to
been
Fox. Not
for,
according to
for
Fox.
30 years. It's been on the rebound. But that's neither here nor there.
For
But yeah,
another show.
dude, I think they'll be. I don't know, but going to the Breslin Center, that's in Ann Arbor, right?
No, the Chrysler Arena is in Ann Arbor.
Where's the Breslin?
Breslin was Lansing. East
That's
Lansing.
pretty far, like from the Metro Detroit area. I think if they came here, they'd want to keep it close to the metro area if possible.
But the question is, where would they go? That's the Chrysler Arena makes sense as it has a 10,000 seat capacity, and it's Ann Arbor is
Even Ann Arbor isn't that close to the Detroit area, you know. But
right. I agree, but it's about 30 minutes outside of the city of Detroit. It takes about.
I'd see them going there before Lansing.
That's what I would think. Yeah, and especially because it's smaller. If you're trying to fill out 15,000 seats at the Breslin,
What was the Kobo issue?
there's no Kobo issue. They could go Kobo.
How many does that
I don't
seat
know.
again?
I
It doesn't
don't-
say.
But Kobo is like once again, Kobo Exhibition Hall is Kobo Exhibition Room is a large exhibition room, but
But even like Cobo Arena, I can't think of the last thing that
I've
that
seen
was
wrestling
there.
at Kobo Arena when I was a little
Yeah.
kid. They used to run house shows there.
Saw Deftones there.
12,000, man. If they did a seat at a Kobo Arena.
See, I
and
think
they'd be all pretty much floor
I
seating,
think
too.
I think you'd more than likely see them there.
But that's my only problem with it is there's no risers.
Yeah, like I say, Kobo will be all.
I mean, I
it's
guess you
all
could put in
floor seating.
risers.
They could. I'm
Or
sure
put
they
in
could work their
benches.
way around that. They got
Or put in those benches like you see at high
they
school
got a
basketball
good
games.
they got a good crew. They got the money to back a good crew. They'll figure it out.
So I would like to see AEW as at least for a fucking weekly event here. And okay, so they're selling out everywhere. Are you thinking that they're going to sell out if they come here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
All right.
and we'll get people traveling from Canada to come here.
Yeah, that too. You're gonna get some people from a bunch of people from Windsor and maybe Toronto, and everything in between.
Nice. All right, boys. Let's move on to a wrestler in NXT that is making a lot of waves.
Mikey's favorite.
Bro.
Mikey's favorite bro.
Talking about fucking Matthew Riddle. Matt Riddle was a huge critic of the Undertaker Goldberg match that happened in Saudi Arabia.
But he wasn't the only one.
Right? Agreed, though. He wasn't the only one. However, many people also attribute it to Goldberg taking that shot and it just putting him loopy. And the minute you go loopy in anything, because a lot of people. So what was it? A fucking 6-minute match, 7-minute match, something like that. Most people
just
say
went
the
longer.
first half of that match was good, not great, not spectacular, but no one was like, "Oh, fuck." And then Goldberg kind of went wonky, and then it just got weird. And that's fine. I understand that. You know, you fucking have a concussion, it takes you out. It's kind of probably a reason why Goldberg came back and is announcing that he's going against Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam, which we will get into. But so Matt Riddle had a big problem with that. And then it wasn't fully out that it was Goldberg versus Ziggler yet, but
That was always a
it
rumor.
was leaked. And there was a photo of Goldberg versus Ziggler at SummerSlam. And Matt Riddle had shared that photo and said, "Make it a triple threat, bro. It's what the people want." Bunch of hashtags. Shawn McElroy quoted it and said, "Super King of Bros, you should read I Am Jericho's first book. Here's a snippet about why cutting LOL promos at older performers," in parentheses wrote Goldberg, "isn't a good look. Always appreciated that about watching Chris." And here's the snippet of his book. It said, Jericho goes, "I learned an important lesson, the first of 3 seminal moments in my promo development. I had done an interview about my first match with Bulldog, and I was talking about how old and slow he was, just burying him. I thought it was pretty good until I walked back in the dressing room and Bulldog stopped me in front of everyone. 'What the hell are you doing? Yeah, I'm old and everybody knows it, but I want you to think about this. If I beat you, and I will be beating you, then you just got beat by an old man. If you beat me and you will not be beating me, then you just beat up an old man. If you talk about how much experience I have and then I cheat to beat you, then at least you got beaten by an experienced vet. And if you beat me, well, fuck, then you just beat an experienced vet. The way it stands right now, you just pissed all over yourself. You look like a fool either way. Jericho goes, he walked away muttering to himself, and I realized he was right. The first big lesson I learned about promos, get your pens out, kids, was never totally bury your opponent. You can tell jokes and insult them all you want, but if you don't build them up to some extent, you're just burying yourself. Jericho quoted that tweet and said, listen and learn. To which Matt Riddle then posted a video. And here's Matt Riddle's video, which I'm hoping we hear play.
I'm just gonna say this. I don't know what's going on with all these WCW guys. Legitimately. Man, I don't like Goldberg. I have my thing. I'm not gonna get into it. Everybody knows what I think. And it's true. He's not at the level. And yes, he's made lots of money. But at the end of the day, when future wrestlers come in, or somebody wants to get into this business, or a passionate fan wants to watch something good, I doubt they're going to pull up a Bill Goldberg match. They're going to pull up one of my matches, or Kurt Angle's matches, or Chris Benoit matches, or Shawn Michaels, or Bret Hart. And I'll go on. But Goldberg's not in that category or list. That's no. Chris Jericho, you came at me. I don't know why you're saying, listen and learn, kid. I'll beat the shit out of you. I don't understand that. I don't get it. You're soft as hell. Maybe back in your prime, but even then I would have beat the shit out of you then. So listen and learn from me, bro. Shut your mouth. Lance, I don't get it. You were born then. I remember doing a seminar with you at Legends Camp in North Carolina. I literally fell asleep during your seminar. I had to be woken up by you. I even apologized at the time. And then to think years later I'd be in NXT, and for some reason you get on your little Twitter machine, you start talking trash about me. It's like, bro, barefoot or not, still 10 times the entertainer you ever were. Keep coaching, keep passing on the tradition. Just don't teach them how to be entertaining because you don't know how to. All right? And Booker T, I really like you, Booker T. Really didn't want any heat with you. But you said I couldn't work, and I'm pretty sure if you watch a couple of my matches, you'll probably realize you were really wrong about that. So that's it. I want everybody to know where I'm coming from because I'm a pretty sweet guy. Okay? And I don't want any of this trouble. Okay? All right. Everybody, have a great Monday. And I'll see everybody in Albany, New York Thursday, Buffalo, New York Friday, and take over Toronto Saturday. Later, bro.
So the Lance Storm thing, all Lance Storm did was quote the tweet from Fox Sports Florida where it showed Riddle hitting a crossbody on the Tampa Bay Rays mascot. And Lance Storm just quoted it and said, does this man own shoes? Like, I don't take that as a shot. You know, that's the dude's gimmick. So obviously you're going to say something about it because it's one of the biggest things in fucking wrestling at that moment. There was a huge viral video that went around.
I don't really get the Lance Storm thing, but I kind of get what he's saying to Jericho and Booker T because they have both spoken out towards him in after his remarks about Goldberg with the Goldberg Undertaker match. And they both kind of said, hey, kid, you know, pull it back a little bit, you know, respect your elders, you know. But, yeah, what Lance did, that was sound more like a joke. I don't think he should have went after Lance.
Yeah, and then so Booker T went on his Hall of Fame podcast, and he responded to the comments from Matt Riddle. And this is a quote. He goes, my thing is that it's kind of hard as far as how should I take it. Me personally, I know that if I was a young guy in the business and someone like Chris Jericho gave me a little bit of advice, be it as it may where the guy is working at AEW right now, but if Chris Jericho was to give me some words of advice, he might be one of the guys I would listen to just because of the career that he has had. Chris Jericho has been one of those guys that hasn't been one of the biggest guys in the locker room, but when Chris Jericho had to go out there and perform, he worked 6'4" tall. He was 250 pounds. That's just the way he worked, and that is why Chris Jericho rose to the levels of success that he did. When WWE brought Chris Jericho in at 2000, it was Y2J, and that it was that big. It was the countdown. It was like a New Year's going off, and that is how big it was when Chris Jericho made his arrival with the company. It didn't stop there. He went on and had great matches against Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. And when a guy like that is giving you some words of wisdom, I don't think Chris was shooting at him or coming at him. It was very simple. It was almost like listen and learn, because this is what the business is really about, listening and learning. When The Rock said, know your role and shut your mouth, that's true. Know your role and shut your mouth. When guys back in the day didn't know their role, they didn't last long in my business. My thing is, hopefully Matt Riddle will go on and have a great career. And then it said, Booker pointed out the differences between the cultures of mixed martial arts and pro wrestling, noting how calling out an MMA may be celebrated, but not behind the scenes in the latter. It says, in the octagon, calling guys out to a fight might be wise, but in real life, calling out a real man to a fight is just not wise. Fighting these days is not something men do outside of the octagon. People get hurt really bad. The guy could have a great career. Hopefully he will. We will see. We will find out in the long run. The same road you go up, you go down that same road. That road is going to be about how much you put into making sure that it is a passable on the way back because of some of those bridges. They have been knocked down. There might be a whole lot of potholes in the way down that you didn't have on the way up. And one thing about guys like Matt Riddle is in 10 years, I don't know how old he is now, he's going to be 10 years older, and some young guy is going to be saying the same thing about him if he happens to make it that far. And so I always teach my students on what not to do. I teach my students as well that you have to be able to make it in the locker room in order to make it in the ring and to make it to the next level. To make it to that next level in MMA, people don't have to really like you in order to get the next level. In pro wrestling, if people don't like you, you can find yourself in the unemployment line because that's just the way it is. Is it wrong or is it wrong? I can't say, but that's just the way it is. We have gotten into many conversations, fellas, especially with Orlando Christopher, about the etiquette in a pro wrestling locker room. How you go up and you shake everyone's hand. You say hello. And it's not a firm handshake. It's a regular, decent, not too hard handshake because you're showing that you're going to be protective with that person's body when you're in the ring. You are two people trying to do the exact same fucking thing, and that same fucking thing is to entertain the fans. I've been a proponent of how much I have not liked Matt Riddle, right? I don't get his gimmick. Look, I fully agree. I
told you his gimmick,
yeah,
man.
It's Spicoli. I get it. But to me, I don't fucking relate to it. Do I think he's good in the ring? Yes. Do I think he's one of the top guys in the wrestling ring? No, I don't. I think he's above middle ground. I don't think he's average. I think he's good. I don't think he's meh. I think he's good. I think that he can be great. He can be spectacular. But at the same time...
He's had some really good, really entertaining matches.
Right.
I thought against Dream, Gulak, his last match in Evolve, which was against, I believe, Keith Lee. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. It was against J.D. Drake.
Yeah, it was J.D. Drake.
And that was really good, too.
Keith Lee's last match was against Riddle.
That's right. Yeah. Which was also very good. So, yeah. He's not a top guy, but he can have great matches. I don't know as far as his mouth and his attitude. Like, did you guys watch any of that Viceland show, The Wrestlers?
I haven't seen any of the wrestlers yet.
Well, they did one on episode on the indie scene, and they showed a lot of Evolve footage when Matt Riddle was still there, and Matt Riddle was asking Gabe Sapolsky, like, hey, man, is it, like, okay if I sell my merch while there's a match going on? And Gabe Sapolsky's like, well, no, not really, because then you'd be disrespecting the wrestlers in the ring, and if you're out there selling merch, then you're taking attention away from the guys in the ring, and that's considered disrespectful. And so I can see kind of where I'm thinking to myself, man, you got to ask that question. You don't just like already know that. So I can see like where he may be like some of the things why you don't like him, but like insulting Booker T and Jericho, and Goldberg, is he being like Jim Cornette, kind of maybe working an angle, working himself into something? Is he trying to like kind of internet book something on his own, or is he just really just spouting off at the mouth to spout off at the mouth?
I really wish I could tell you, man, but
Because I don't know.
Okay, you know what? No, I don't think he is. I don't think he's trying to. I think originally, possibly, because he's been talking about Lesnar left and right. I should be the one. I want to retire Lesnar.
He said he wants to retire
Yeah.
Lesnar.
Now he's talking about Goldberg, how he wants to be in that match, maybe because he feels like he should be in that match. I feel like what he's doing is going levels beyond what Velveteen Dream did. When Dream wrote "Call Me Up, Vince," you know, Dream is just still working. He'll drop something on Twitter where he's like, "Oh, I feel like I should be there," so on and so forth. But that's about it. You know, he's not going on videos just reaming dudes. And Smitty, what are your thoughts on this?
I really didn't care about this whole thing to start off with.
Really, I find it actually being perfectly. I find it entertaining because basically I like both guys and they're both doing a good job of ripping on each other and it's kind of funny.
Like the whole Jericho Riddle beef, it just seemed like basic Twitter beef that we see every day. That's
Dude, how do you think AEW's move their angles along without having TV every week? It's all done by social media, dude. That's this day and age. That's this business now.
He said, like the Riddle video, I watched the Riddle video, and I'm like, okay. At first, it sounded like, when I seen the tweets, it's like, I think Riddle made that video because he felt like he was being attacked by these guys for some reason. And then then Jericho did the whole little parody thing afterwards. I'm like, oh, this is just another basic Twitter angle for some reason. But I'm also thinking, like,
what more can they do, being that they work for two different companies that are not going to work with each other?
Yeah, like I said, and then there was also stuff I was reading, like, oh, this is proof that AEW and WWE are in cahoots. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up.
No,
and that's kind of one of the things that kind of pulled me out of it too.
I didn't even think that for 1 second.
No, if you go on there, people are like, oh, this is proof. Like,
You're always going to have You're always going to have those guys, those fans.
And at that point, I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
The
I don't
Vince
care
Russos
anymore.
of the world.
Yeah, I like literally that was the point. I'm like, this okay, shut the fuck up. I don't even care about this anymore.
I just take it for what it is on the surface level. I find it funny and entertaining. I'm not really looking to dig too much deeper into it, you know?
Nick, your thoughts on when this is happening?
I agree with Joe. It is entertaining. It's a little funny. I think there might be a little bit of an angle of social media beef, obviously, to reel everybody in. But at the same time, to me, it sounds like a lot of these backstage things, there's always the word etiquette thrown around, and there's a lot of different ways that you can, I guess, in a sense, make a bad name for yourself, whether it be on the professional level, the indie scene, you know, whatever. So guys like Matt Riddle seem like they get, I don't want to use the term held down when they do shit like this, but it's not good for their overall look. Whether it's an angle, whether it's real. I mean, if it were me and I did something like Riddle and then Jericho's like, hey, calm down, bro. All right, that's cool. You know what I mean? You got to kind of humble yourself. And
it's not so much that Jericho told him to calm down. It was Jericho was just like, hey, man, I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm saying the way you're saying it is coming off wrong. Because that's what that whole thing was. It was like, you're supposed to cut these promos. But to fully bury your opponent, you're only hurting yourself in the long run.
Goldberg's not his opponent.
Well, and he should take that constructive criticism and run with it. Like, okay, cool.
It seemed like Riddle took it as a shot at him. Right. Yeah, that's why he responded the way he did.
Well, and then you're going to, I don't know. It's hard to it's hard to see where that line of, you know, realism versus an angle. Yeah, you know, because it could go either way.
But at the same time, doesn't that makes wrestling better?
Oh, absolutely.
When you don't, when you have the line blurred, when
absolutely,
you can't tell what's real. And
yep.
I fully agree with that. But again, in my situation, as a person who's not a huge fan of Riddle, just overall, I take this as Matt Riddle, like you said. Jericho's like, hey, man, don't go that far. Do this instead. This is better overall. And Matt Riddle just decided to flip out. I guess not in Matt Riddle style of flipping out. Because let's not pretend like he is just going all fucking nuts. I refuse to believe he even probably disciplines his kids all angry. It's like, look, bro, I need you to calm down.
Heard him in the background of his video.
Right. You know, and so I just feel like Matt Riddle does need to pay attention a little bit more and does need to learn to pull it back, because I agree with the whole Jericho thing. Don't bury yourself. I'm not saying Matt Riddle shouldn't be out there posting videos or tweets trying to get him involved into some main roster angle. That's fine by me, right? It makes sense. They want him to get called up. His fans, everything like that. Do I think he would flounder if he gets called up? Fuck yeah. I don't think he'd be a main roster superstar at all. I think that he would go the way of Rusev, right? Where it's just like
Get a
comes
nice
out
little push on the
hot.
May card.
Are you
for
just
about a
comparing
year.
those two because Rusev came in barefoot?
That's basically it, yeah. Well, no, it's like he would get this major push, and then he would go up against someone, and he'd probably piss somebody off the wrong way, and take forever to pull yourself out of it. The Miz caught that. Let's all be honest.
Listen,
man.
though, these guys coming up from NXT and then floundering on the main roster, you cannot put 90% of that on them, dude. It's like Triple H groomed them. They built them. They had solid programs coming out of NXT, and then all that is just lost when it comes to the main roster. And you know, we've seen what happens to people.
We've had this discussion.
So I'm
many
just
a
saying,
times,
if
but-
Matt Riddle came up and that happened, it might not necessarily be his fault, or at least all his fault. You know.
But I don't think all the NXT guys are floundered because of Vince McMahon either. I don't. We've said it. There's been many title runs with all of them, and then at some point they fucking lose connection. But then,
What about like Tyler Breeze and Bo Dallas, who were like superstars down there?
dude,
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor caught the injury bug, which fucked him right there. And then I agree. I don't know what else is going on with Finn Balor. Do I think that he should have more? Sure.
He's
Bo
about to
Dallas,
take
dude,
a couple months off. That's what's going on.
Bo Dallas.
He's getting married,
I,
too.
fuck Bo Dallas.
Probably why he's taking a couple.
I've never been a fan of was never a fan of Bo Dallas's gimmick before, and then he got with the B team, and then it just became, we all said it ourselves, it was comical. It wasn't anything that we really took fucking seriously. And that's you can say that all you want, but if you're not getting your gimmick over when you're getting all the TV time, then you're not gonna do anything either. But at the same time, all of these guys from NXT have had good runs, you know, at some point.
What about
Luke Harper.
EC3, Bobby Roode,
EC3,
Eric Young?
EC3 is facing the problem of, even Dean said it, Ambrose said it, Moxley was like, because that fucking shit didn't go over, he thought it was him, so he fell sour on him. And that's Vince, dude. You can't fucking, like, it's any fucking job, you know? And Eric Young, I think they fucked the whole,
Killian Dane.
they fucked all that up, bringing that with,
What's the other guy? Wolf.
Alexander Wolf. He's on NXT UK actually with Imperium now, so
fucked-
he's rebounding.
They fucked all that up with the bringing up of them and then not using them right away, but having vignettes. No one's going to buy into that, especially when anything happens. But we're getting on a sidecast. So that being said, I think that's Matt Riddle's future. I don't think Matt Riddle is going to be good enough to be a top contender. Look, Samoa Joe is an outside guy, but also came from NXT as well. And he caught some injuries, but he's still being thrown into, do I think he should win more? Sure.
Yeah, they're beating him too much, man.
But at the same time, right now, he is still fucking so good.
That's just his promos are strong.
But
Let's
again,
be honest.
and that's all
His
fucking
promos, he
WWE
comes
is.
off like a killer, but then he gets beat rather easily, and
Little
then he has like a
quick
shock,
roll-ups.
shock look on his face. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
It's the ultimate Samoa Joe. However, I
So the
don't
most
think Matt
badass
Riddle.
version of Sami Zayn.
I don't think Matt Riddle is, especially with this type. If this is his true attitude, it's not going to carry over.
as
well in the
entertaining
locker room.
as it has been, the banter back and forth between Jericho and Riddle, I do think, based on what Jericho told him, like, hey, kid, live and learn, that was pretty. Jericho wasn't coming at him harshly. He was just like a little subtle advice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I do think Riddle's response was like way overboard. Even though it was entertaining, it was still like, whoa, man, you're coming off.
No, I'll beat your fucking ass.
Yeah, like,
that was a
I'm
part
going to
of-
beat your fucking ass because you told me
I
to
could.
respect my elders. Like, that's a little harsh, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a bit of an overreaction. So that makes me wonder if he's trying to just,
Make his name as some of these.
yeah, man, he's
some
just
of
trying to
these
get
guys.
some fucking publicity, you know, get some social media, you know, metrics up and stuff like that and get his name out there. which it's done. Good for good or bad, people are talking about him.
Yeah, I mean, you
It's like Enzo almost.
Yeah, but he's like really annoying for real.
All right, so let's move over to Raw and SmackDown this week before we get into our NXT TakeOver Toronto picks. Raw kicked off with a out-of-the-box tag match. Becky and Charlotte taking on Natalya and Trish Stratus. They mixed the face and heels against each other to an extent, but Canada was on the one side. So it was like Canada versus U.S. Hey, she's from Ireland. So it's it started off with that Raw Women's Champion. They lost because Natty wouldn't break the fucking sharpshooter, and she just wouldn't remove that to where Trish Stratus had to break that up, and then Natty, pushed on Trish Stratus. Up next was a spectacular match: Andrade versus Rey Mysterio, going back and forth.
Those guys have just amazing chemistry together.
Andrade got a win over him. Then there was the OBGYN segment of the 24/7 Championship.
Did we call that one last week?
We're gonna. Yes, I did. I fucking did. We'll go into that specific. We'll start off after we get through the results. We're gonna start with that one. Then Paul Heyman comes out talking about Seth Rollins, and Seth comes out and proceeds to get his ass destroyed by Brock Lesnar, and then cuts the most boring promo I've ever heard, me personally, in a long time. Then the Viking Raiders come out and they beat up Jay Alexander and Eric Abraham in a squash match again. And then
Mr. Alexander was on our Brighton show with us. Mr. Alexander was on our Brighton show with us.
Jay Alexander?
Yeah.
Nice.
And Idris Abraham was at the Belleville show with us.
They called him Eric Abraham?
His real name is Idris
Yeah.
Abraham. He's remember the
he's
Halal Beefcake, the tag team?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, I knew those fucking guys.
Yeah, I was watching with my girlfriend. I'm like, I know those guys. Who got those guys? One of my buddies actually went to EMU with Idris, had a class with him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Up next, Kurt Angle was supposed to be a special guest referee, and between Drew McIntyre and Cedric Alexander, his thing broke out outside. All of a sudden, the Fiend's music hit, and Bray Wyatt, a.k.a. the Fiend, put the mandible claw on Kurt Angle. Up next, it was supposed to be Gallows and Anderson versus the New Day, and as things broke down right off the bat in that, it then became a six-man tag team match where it was the OC of AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson versus the New Day and Ricochet, or the New Shay, as I called him. And
I like it.
I had respect that Gallows came out with the face paint too.
And
I was marking out for that.
We'll get into that.
I was marking out for that.
Thanks for going forward with that, Smitty, bearing the lead. OC got the win over them. Up next, Roman Reigns was then attacked in the parking lot after Samoa Joe was refusing to move Raw forward. Samoa Joe goes outside talking shit, and then Rikishi drove into Roman Reigns. At least that's what we're assuming. We're assuming it's one of the. I mean,
Jay on the wheel again.
Yeah, we also don't know. It could be one of the Usos who just were drunk driving.
Rick Cohen.
Right. Then it was a fatal four-way match, elimination match to decide who are the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. After the Iconics were eliminated first, then Mandy and Sonya Deville were eliminated second. It became down to the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. And Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross went over and are your brand new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And then was the contract signing. Miz and Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler comes out, cuts his little promo after Miz cut his, and then Ziggler just signs the paper. Well, then Miz goes, well, you dumbass. You should have read the contract a little better because it's not me. I can't wait to face you on Raw next week. And Ziggler's like, Raw? And he goes, yeah, should have read that contract better. You're facing someone else. Ziggler looks at Shawn Michaels, and HBK goes, it's not me. And then all of a sudden you hear, doom, doom. Goldberg's music hits. Boom. And then Goldberg comes out. He signs the fucking contract. He takes his microphone. He looks at Dolph Ziggler, who's sitting on the outside of the ring, and goes, hey, Dolph, you're next. And Raw ends in a great fashion. I thought so. So let's start off with what we called for the OBGYN segment of the 24/7 Championship. Inside the room, Mike Kanellis is telling his wife, just lay down and relax. It's fine. He hugs her. He lays her down. And the OBGYN is the female referee for WWE. She
NXT.
turns around and no, she's in WWE. She did some things on SmackDown as well.
Okay.
And she does the 1, 2, 3. And Mike Kanellis runs out of the OBGYN room as the new 24/7 champion, only to run into R-Truth and Carmella.
In drag.
Who flipped roles as Carmella was the baby daddy. And R-Truth said, "Oh no, my water broke." And then he pulled the baby out, threw it at Mike, pinned him, and ran off with the 24/7 title. I will be very honest. When it first started off and they were showing this OBGYN and a wall of it was a curtain with art on it, I was like, what the fuck is this, man? Come on. This is fucking horse shit. You're not even going to make it somewhat believable. And then it did
Everything
not
happened.
it didn't fucking matter. It didn't fucking matter. Mike Kanellis pinned his own wife.
He grew a pair of balls.
So we were talking last week, and I said, if that happened, does it take Mike Kanellis away from the burial? Not like completely buried, but someone threw a rope down there and he grabbed it and he's trying to climb out right now.
Honestly, it did.
So everyone said no. Everyone like, no, he's too far.
Yeah, I say no.
So Joe, okay, so Smitty obviously just said a little bit. It looks like he could pull himself out of this with that turn. Ish, because it wasn't like a total heel turn, but it was definitely a comedic moment where it made you go, holy fuck, that just happened. Joe, are you thinking that if they continue that way, where he's like, shut up, I don't want to hear it right now. I want to be a champion too, because now he's a 2-time 24/7 champion. What do you think about Mike Kanellis' character with that?
I think they can't. I've used this term before. I think they can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. I think he's already been buried so far down that they've emasculated him. They've humiliated him, and now like. I told my girlfriend, too, when we were watching, he's going to go out there and lose his belt. And then Maria's going to be really pissed. Like, she's going to have his vagina lips in a vice now. And so it's just going to be further burial of him because she's just going to
it depends on what
verbally destroy him next week on TV. So, no, I don't see him coming out of this.
Could even happen at SummerSlam.
Can it be?
Yeah.
R-Truth looked like Sinead from Heart.
Because now the burial's going to continue and its intensity is going to be greater because he lost her title. So she's going to be just pregnant, fuming.
So, Smitty, you said it seems like someone threw him a rope, and it's possible that he might be able to, in time, pull himself out, but it really depends on what's coming next for his character.
That's
what's coming next for his character is not going to be good.
Listen, but if Joe was saying, if it's going the way Joe was saying, yeah, the burial goes further. If he continues to try to bring his masculinity back, kind of keep showing that, yeah, I'm still a man, damn it. It could pull him up to a certain level. I'm not saying he's going to be running 205 live and within the next month or two, but
even if he is, that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he might chase after the 24/7 title for a little bit. Maria could get up his ass and be like, "Bitch, go get my title back," and then maybe he'll win it, and then she'll make his ass lay down again, and,
emasculate him further.
Right?
Fuck you.
But at least he's getting TV time.
Kick him in the vagina a couple times.
Well, I said that is the bright part about it. At least Mike Kanellis, who is a great wrestler, is getting TV time.
I don't know if he's a great wrestler.
Hey, he's spec-fucking-tacular. I don't know what you're talking about. Fucking love
the miracle.
Mike Kanellis.
He's not even testacular.
He's testicular.
He's vagina-ticular.
Ooh, vaginalitis.
Yeah.
Our poll for Raw.
Swollen lips.
Obviously, after Raw ended, we post our Twitter poll asking what people thought of Raw. Thumbs up, thumbs bar, thumbs down. 54% thought Raw was a thumbs up. 30% thought Raw was a thumbs bar, and 16% thought Raw was a thumbs down. Nick, where did Raw land for you? Up, bar, or down?
I voted up.
Okay.
Yep, definitely voted up. It had its moments, as it always does.
Right.
But especially with the ending, couldn't have worked out any better. It was nice and shortish and sweet.
Do you think that Goldberg coming in adds to SummerSlam excitement? And, okay, let's not say do you think. For you, does Goldberg coming in, even though it was partially, spoiled and stuff, does it add to SummerSlam for you?
Man, that's tough. I would say no, only because I feel like he's going to SummerSlam so Ziggler can put him over. You know what I mean? So while it's going to be nice to see him actually do some good ring work with Ziggler, I think it obviously is going to be better than what he did with The Undertaker. But no, I mean, it doesn't really. He did get a big pop. He got a big.
He always does.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, people do love Goldberg. Let's not argue.
Yeah.
So, okay, Nick, is this match with Ziggler over or under 4 minutes?
Under.
Under? Smitty, what do you think?
Under, like,
Under?
it's Ziggler. That's the
Okay, Joe, where are you at with that match time? Over or under 4 minutes?
Just the time?
Yeah, just the match time.
Under.
Under? Okay. So we're thinking this is a Goldberg squash on Ziggler.
Yeah.
I just think Goldberg, he said, we all know he wants his retribution. He feels humiliated after the Undertaker match. So they're like, poor Dolph Ziggler, the worst thing to be known in the wrestling industry, is like, well, we can have Ziggler's a good hand. He can bump around for him, and make him look like $1 million. Here, Ziggler's a perfect guy to make Goldberg look good.
Now, is it also the fact that this might lead to something later for Ziggler? As in going up against HBK or something, maybe at Mania or later.
I would like to see that, actually.
Joe, you said you'd like to see that?
Yeah, I would. I don't know if I can't say if I think that's where this is leading. I don't know. But would I like to see it? Yeah.
Smitty.
I think it's leading to a HBK Ziggler encounter in Saudi.
Why do you say that?
Because Saudi wants Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
And they'll pay for him.
You think that's more likely than Mania?
It's way more likely than Mania.
And that's October, right?
Actually, yeah. You know what?
That's
That's a pretty good idea you got there, Smitty.
That's I think this leads more to getting Shawn Michaels and Ziggler together at Saudi.
You may be onto something there.
Look at you bringing out smart fucking points and stuff. It's like you fucking thought about something today. I like it. Now, back to Monday Night Raw. I said it on our Twitter machine. Other people said it. Luke Gallows came out with the face paint, and they said it was a new look for him. New fucking tights for the boys, the Good Brothers. Definitely coming out looking like old school and getting the win at the end of the day over Xavier Woods in the New Day. Nick, you bought in. You've been bought into the OC, the club, them for weeks now. We've said it. It was Smitty who was on the fence, and even last week, Smitty still won't say yes to this. But Nick, you're watching this. You're seeing some of the way that they're going with how they're coming out now and looking like that. What are your thoughts on? Could this be a faction that runs for a while?
I think so. It seemed as though they had some new life, especially this week. They had some new life, a little bit, working a little bit faster in the ring, and I think the intensity level was bumped up a notch. And yeah, I mean, they looked really good. I'm sold.
So Smitty, you're the only one, because even I think Joe last week was like, yeah, I've paid my ticket. I've bought in. I hope it doesn't go the wrong way, but I've bought in. You're still like, I'm not walking up to that window and handing any cash yet. Are you finally buying in after this week for the OC, the club, whatever?
Yeah, I'm at the ticket window.
No. Did you pay your money and get your receipt, Smitty? Did you buy in? Or are you just holding up the line for the people behind you that want to buy in?
I'm bought in.
Yeah!
Because like I said, I'm like Joe said, marked out for the face paint, and these guys look strong. They look like they did. This is what I wanted from them since the beginning, for the most part.
It's just kind of a tainted liking them because this should have happened 5 years ago or 4 years ago.
So let's go back to what you then said about Mike Kanellis. You said he's buried so far, there's no way to get him out. The fucking Good Brothers were buried.
They were buried in oblivion as far as the card goes.
And every now and
they
then
weren't emasculated on live TV by their wife. That's a whole nother level, dude.
Okay, but man,
that's a whole nother level.
They had a whole gimmick about dick kicking, so
there was a whole fucking thing with that. They were doing that whatever, the Southern Championship Wrestling, the stuff. They brought that up. We're still losing in those matches. When they were coming out on SmackDown Live, they were losing pretty quickly. They were the first ones eliminated in gauntlet matches and things like that. They were made to look like they were not some kind of force at all in any way, shape, or form.
That's kind of Vince's history. He takes the hottest act out there, signs them, pushes them for a month or two, and then They ride the
But-
pine and
okay,
he buries
so-
them
but that- we're
down
not
the
talking
card
about
into
that.
oblivion.
We're not talking about that at all.
Okay.
I'm talking about they were put down.
Yeah.
Now they're back and they're looking really strong, going like the way that they have looked like they should have been for the longest time.
So then,
That's more so
as an average,
AJ.
as a casual fan, aren't they kind of like, well, how come these guys weren't this tough like the whole time? They just found their toughness, or they just all of a sudden
this
got
whole-
better. You know,
this whole gimmick was built on AJ saying, "I want you guys to get focused. I want you're playing around a little bit too much. You're not going with the thing." So this has been a
so for
storyline.
5 years they just weren't focused.
That's been a storyline where it's like you guys used to be focused. You guys had the tag team titles, and let's be honest, it's only been 3 years, not 5, because they were Raw tag.
No, they've been here since
but
2015.
Understandable,
That's
but
4 years.
4 years, but even still, they went into WrestleMania 2 years ago as the Raw tag team champions, right? So they were still on the upper echelon of the card. They were still winning. They were still.
Well, let's be
champions.
honest. There's not very many teams in the tag team division to choose from.
And when they went
But
in that year,
still,
that's when the hard.
they're-
Surprise,
but
hard to come
you
back.
You said the casual fan. Okay, so the casual fan is seeing Gallows and Anderson walking into WrestleMania as the Raw Tag Team Champions, and of course the Hardys on that huge, which a lot of people say the Road Warrior pop. I don't know. I think it might be the Hardy pop now, because that may have been the loudest. That fucking thing was probably the loudest pop I've ever heard.
It was at my house.
So
Scared the shit out of my dogs.
So they haven't really been anywhere near the upper echelon or even mid echelon of the tag team card on any show since that loss. So let's say 2 years that you just watched Gallows and Anderson go into fucking oblivion for 2 years. Didn't matter when anytime they showed up, you knew they were losing. You just, this is a fucking write-off. We know Gallows and Anderson winning. Nope, they're gonna lose faster than Dolph Ziggler, versus Goldberg. So they came out of that obscurity, and you said it to the casual fan. So if AJ's like, look, dude, you guys were on the top of this division 2 years ago. What the hell happened?
So the story to the casual fan, or anybody for that matter, is they've always had the talent. They've always had the toughness. They just haven't been focused for 2 years, and it took AJ to bring them back into focus and get them back on target.
Yeah.
And it also kind of took them to bring AJ back on target to bring out his intensity level.
His mean side and
right.
everything like
his
that.
vicious side.
Yeah, the dog, that Vince McMahon. I see that. I see the animal. You're a
Pit bull. Yeah.
You're a Georgia Bulldog.
Chewing on mayonnaise.
So that being said,
What? That's a good one. I don't even know what that means, dude.
no, it's Smitty. Does anyone know what that means? Smitty, do you know what that means?
Um,
Nope. No.
I just threw something out there and it just sounded nasty.
That was,
Love it.
that was Smitty. Motherfucker.
Shooting on mayonnaise.
That's gross.
It sounds gross, right?
Let's get that trending. Hashtag chewing on mayonnaise.
Hashtag chewing on mayonnaise. Get that going, ladies and gentlemen. So
Another gym by
It's-
Smitty.
So you're
it takes a lot, but no matter the burial, it might take a while, but anybody might be able to come back, is what I'm saying. And Gallows and Anderson may be the most recent notoriety of, even in Vince's eyes, an outside team that was built on something beyond that.
I think Vince had Paul in his ear talking about those guys because they're ready to leave, and Paul's like, "Look, dude, you're gonna lose these guys. AEW's picking up a lot of talent. Like, these guys are the hottest team in New Japan. You've done shit with them. You need to fucking throw the fucking
Get something
Okay,
on
throw the
I'm
checkbook
not- I'm not gonna
back
argue
the
that.
Brinks truck up, and you got to give them a strong run. And I'm sure. I guess.
Put AJ with him.
But even still, Vince may have been Paul in his ear.
Had to have been.
It may have been, because this was we can't say for sure. It also may have been Vince going, I might be losing, because they weren't signing, and Vince thinking, I can't lose these guys here. Let's be very honest. If there's anything Vince is,
The
it's
way
a
Vince
fucking
used them
stupid
the
good
whole time they were
businessman.
there, I don't think that he personally would have had a feeling like, oh, I can't lose these guys, because he didn't do anything with them.
But when if you see AEW there, right? And you're throwing fucking $500,000 a year at somebody for 5 years to stay there that you're not even using on TV. And you throw that money at them and they say no. And then you throw more money at them and they say no. I'm not arguing it.
It's alarming.
But yes, I agree. As far as a business,
It's alarming from Vince's end.
Yeah, then you go, wait, why aren't these guys just taking this money?
Because they don't like you.
And there you go. So then Vince may have had to work something out, and it may have very well been Paul too, But Vince is doing something with an outside team. Do you take that as a plus for the WWE and Vince McMahon, or do you take it as Vince is doing this out of necessity, no matter if it was someone in his ear or not?
Why can't it be both?
Okay, so yeah, it can be both.
I think it stinks of desperation, yes. But yes, it's also a plus for Gallows and Anderson.
No, I'm talking about like for Vince, like down the line. Is he going to be like, oh, wow, I did put backing behind these guys, and even though they were an outside thing, look at how well they're doing right now.
Yeah, I can see that happening because they're that good.
Yeah.
They were, dude, New Japan respects work. And they were the hottest team in Japan for a long time. That means they can do the job. So there's no reason they can't do the job over here. They had the one run, which was a short run, even though they went into Mania with it. It was still a short run and not that meaningful. If they're given the ball to run with, I think they'll show what they can do, which is a lot.
And I really think they need to keep having the titles on AJ and Gallows and
keep that whole faction strong.
To keep that whole faction strong, because honestly, in my honest opinion, I think Lesnar's going to hold that title until Mania again. And you got to keep that mid card. You got to keep that mid card strong while Lesnar's not there.
Well, Lesnar's been showing up for work a lot more lately.
Once again, he showed up for the Saudi show right before 2 weeks before the Saudi show. He shows up 2 weeks before SummerSlam.
No, that's fine, but it's also still more often. You have seen Brock Lesnar.
You've seen him
since
a
he
lot
came back
more
at
often.
Money in the Bank. He's been back way more often.
Yeah, almost
than
every other week.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we even said. We said, look, we don't hate the fact that Lesnar was champion. We hated the fact that Lesnar was champion and you didn't see him.
I wish he would have held on to the Money in the Bank longer, because that brings intrigue, or that's not the right word. It brings
intrigue. Is he going to cash in? Is he going to cash in? That's intrigue. Yeah,
suspense,
you're right.
I guess.
Oh, suspense. Also a great word, bro.
Bro.
But that's what I'm saying. We didn't hate the fact that Lesnar was champion. We hated the fact that we didn't see Lesnar. Not even so much like even when it was brought up about Okada and how often he defended. Joe was like, yeah, but he's there. And we're not talking about his defenses and how much he doesn't defend it. We're saying you don't see the dude. And I said, if I see Lesnar at every other pay-per-view on average, and he shows up at least once every 3 fucking weeks, if he's champion, I don't give a fuck. I'm all right with it. He's completely done with UFC now.
Well,
and hopefully that's what its trending is, because that's what it seems like right now.
You didn't see Hogan and Andre back in the day on a week-to-week basis.
Right.
But you still saw them more than you saw Lesnar like last year.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Not this year, but you saw them more than Lesnar's schedule last year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I already said, when he retired from MMA, I'm like, that made me happy. I'm like, now I can get behind Lesnar more. Now he's just a wrestler.
Yep.
And you can see it in his performance and his number of dates that he's performing on.
And he's having
it seems like he's actually enjoying himself for once. Like, he actually seems like, hey, man, this is cool being a wrestler. I'm not just here for the paycheck.
All right, so Nick, as the casual fan of our group, right, you're seeing Lesnar show up like this. Are you bought more into Lesnar, or are you kind of wishing he didn't hold the belt?
No, I'm definitely bought into him more because, again, I completely agree. When you, not even just the fact that it's Brock Lesnar not showing up, but a fucking one of your main titles not on a regular basis, not being on your show on a regular basis, not even defended. That, to me, that title lost a lot of credibility for a little while. I'm just, how can it not? You never fucking see it. It barely gets defended, but now he's showing up, like you said, every other week. He's making it. He didn't even have to defend it at SummerSlam, and I'd still find it more entertaining now and more credible than when it was last year.
Like with the comparison to Okada, it's like he only defended it so many times too, but every time they had an event, he was there, whether it be wrestling a singles, a tag, or a 6-man tag or whatever. you still see Okada and the belt at every single New Japan event, you know?
Right.
So it's not like it's a little bit off to be a true comparison, you know?
Right. But at the same time, it still makes more sense that we see him more, so at least he's around in the aspect of everything that's going on.
Which is probably why no one said a word about it with Okada, because they were like, well, we still see him all the time.
Right.
I'd still like to see him in a match every so often other than a pay-per-view. Even one match in between pay-per-views. Not even a singles match.
Yeah, because
tag match.
That would, I mean, they're talking about popping ratings for Raw. That would pop a rating for Raw.
Yep.
Having, you know, like, oh, we're advertising Brock against so-so tonight, you know?
Right. I agree with that wholeheartedly. 100%. Up next, let's go into SmackDown, because SmackDown had some stories that carried over from Raw. And we're going to specifically talk about the Roman Reigns stuff. So Roman Reigns, as we mentioned, the Usos drunkenly drove into his car on Raw.
Come on, Us.
Samoa Joe was standing there, and Samoa Joe went into immediate, holy shit, stay down. We're getting medics out here and everything. And kind of seemed like, you know, you're watching this going, oh, all of a sudden Samoa Joe cares about him. But I think Samoa Joe's, no matter what, his character has always been, I'm going to fuck you up. No one else is going to. I'm going to fucking kick your ass.
I want my apology. I'm going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what
So he saw that when Roman was hit, obviously he was still gave a shit a little bit about him. Roman cuts an interview on SmackDown Live to where he said, it wasn't Joe. I apologize. You get my apology. You wanted it Chris Jericho. Thank you. I mean, I'm sorry. You wanted it Samoa Joe. I'm sorry. And
Mark.
Then later in the show, as the show ends, it's Roman going into the locker room and he goes, I want everybody out. Well, not everybody, because Buddy, stay. So Buddy Murphy's there, and Roman has a conversation. He goes, I saw the footage. You were fucking there, bro. You know, them jumping with the internet. Because let's be honest, the internet is what showed it was fucking Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
Or someone that looked like Buddy Murphy by the forklift. So Roman goes, who was it? Who the fuck was it? And he goes, it wasn't me. I don't know who it was. And even if I did know, fuck you. Paraphrasing, guys. SmackDown Live.
Yep.
He'll say it on
PG
Fox.
television.
He'll say it on Fox. And then
wasn't me, you cunt.
Roman starts beating his cunt. Roman starts beating his ass all around the locker room and then throws him up against the wall, puts his forearm into his face, and he goes, motherfucker, you're gonna fucking kill me. Who the fuck it was?
He hiding right at him against a desk.
And Buddy Murphy's like, Rowan was there. And then he goes, Daniel Bryan. He goes, I see Daniel Bryan. I saw Roman. That's my Buddy Murphy impression. It's really fucking good. Sounds just like an Australian.
Not. He's
Buddy
had some good
Murphy.
impressions before. That was not one of them.
I sound just like Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy, mate.
So,
Rowan.
Buddy Murphy says Rowan was there. Are we finally go? Is this moving into Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns, Nick? To you?
Yeah, if it was Rowan, and it kind of looked like him in the picture, but I wasn't thinking Buddy Murphy. But in the picture, it was also
The internet was all like, "Oh, Buddy Murphy."
It was a little short to be Rowan,
He's
but
like, "I wasn't me."
WWE even put up a poll.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
80% of people thought it was Samoa Joe. That's Buddy Murphy saying who the fucking poll was. Nick, Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. You think that's where this is going? And is the ultimate culprit Daniel Bryan?
I'm still worried about what the damn announcement he was supposed to be making a couple weeks back was.
yeah, I guess we'll never see that.
I hope we don't. 'Cause I heard it was like saying he was going to move to 205 Live, and I was like, no.
Well, that was a rumor. That's still a rumor that he wants to move to 205.
So Joe,
Oh, that would be terrible.
Joe, is Daniel Bryan the ultimate culprit here, or could this whodunit keep going further?
No, I think it's Daniel Bryan. It's going to lead to a Reigns-Bryan match where Reigns goes over. You know, Rowan does Daniel Bryan's bidding. He's like the modern-day Festus to CM Punk, you know? So he just does what Daniel Bryan tells him.
Because he's bald.
No, because he's stupid.
Okay. Smitty, to you, is Daniel Bryan the ultimate culprit in this whodunit?
Yeah, he told Rowan to do it.
All right. Well, then, if Daniel Bryan is the
It was me all along.
If Daniel Bryan is the ultimate culprit, then did they blow their wad on this too fast?
Yeah, because I think they just wanted to rush to get something for Roman for SummerSlam. So they just kind of they could have drugged this out, but they wanted to get Roman on that SummerSlam card.
Currently, Roman Reigns is not on that SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
This is why it's going to be impromptu.
All this didn't put him on the card yet.
Listen, he's going to be on the card. He's going to be in a proper thing where the whodunit is solved.
It's a fucking Nancy Drew mystery.
I was all right with it until they fucking announced it on SmackDown this week.
Yeah.
I felt like if you're gonna say,
It's a shotgun booking, man. It's a short attention span theater. Like they don't draw out storylines anymore.
understandable, but you could have had you could have moved into something at SummerSlam with Buddy Murphy, Roman versus Buddy Murphy. Even if Roman goes over,
I don't think a lot of fans would buy into that.
I think that Buddy Murphy has a pretty good following because a lot of people right now are wondering why Buddy Murphy hasn't been on TV. But
And then when
again,
Kevin
even still,
put that
it's you get
promo.
Roman on the card, right? Because right now Roman's not on the card. Even still,
I don't see a lot of buzz out there about Buddy Murphy.
oh, I do. Well, I'm on the Twitter machine. Though,
You're
bro.
more than I. Yes.
My whole thing with this is it just seems like it's something that they were like, okay, we got to finish this fast. It's been fucking 4 episodes, 2 weeks, and all of a sudden we hear it's in the Rowan and the Daniel Bryan camp. I just feel like they did this a little bit too
Premature ejaculation.
Well, especially if they have a match with those two at SummerSlam, like, okay, and
right.
Like you say, it's just something to possibly get Roman on the card.
But as it stands right now, he even said Daniel Bryan wasn't there. So it doesn't even look like it could be Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. It looks like it could be Rowan versus Roman.
They're not going to jump into that match on SummerSlam.
Yeah, so I don't...
he said fodder.
Oh, motherfucker.
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything either.
You can air drink.
Oh,
It's like Tanahashi playing the air guitar.
That was my Tanahashi.
That was excellent. Excellent.
Oh, this is Buddy Murphy pretending to be Tanahashi.
You're a horrible Australian, mate.
This is exactly how Buddy Murphy sounds. Continuing on with SmackDown. So the Trish Stratus and Natalia, the Natalia fucking thing with Becky. So she then had a match with Ember Moon. And on the outside of the ring, Trish Stratus is putting on the fucking sharpshooter like a motherfucker. And Bayley runs down saving.
Natty?
You mean Natty was putting on the
Natty was
sharpshooter?
sharpshooter like a motherfucker. Sorry, Canadians all look the same to me.
They have the same chest, right?
It's really the chest.
4 implants.
Yeah.
4 of them.
Bleach blonde, Florence plant.
Each.
Basically.
Yeah.
Vintage type of gals.
All wearing like
Big, fat,
patent
juicy titties, yeah. And bleach blonde hair.
Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So Natalia is having the sharpshooter on Ember Moon. Bayley comes down and saves Ember Moon, wanting to have a full fight at SummerSlam, is what it looked like. I was in attendance for SmackDown because it was here in Detroit, so I don't know what the announcers were saying during any of this shit. And that's all I can assume is that somebody said Bayley came down to save Ember Moon because she won a full good match. Mm-hmm. This is the first time in this entire fucking run. By the way, Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch and Natalia was announced as a submission match before Raw on at SmackDown. I mean at SummerSlam. Fucking A.
You all right?
No, I don't know why I can't talk. I'm fucking exhausted. That's what it is. Becky Lynch and Natalia will have their match at SummerSlam be a submission match. This was announced on social media before Raw. So now Natty puts on the sharpshooter to Becky, not releasing it, injuring Becky on Raw.
Disarm shooter.
Then Natty puts the sharpshooter on Ember Moon, not releasing it. Not releasing it on SmackDown. This is the first time in this entire storyline that has been built in 3 fucking weeks that Natty has done anything remotely heelish. Do you care anymore about the SummerSlam match, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I want Natty to kick the shit out of her.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Becky's time is done. Her time is up. Natty's time is now.
No, she'll get it back eventually. I just want to see Natty kick the shit out of her.
Does it do anything?
I like Natty.
Does it do anything for you, Nicholas?
Yeah, it does.
Nick O'Shea?
I've always liked Natty, and I think she's a little bit of a powerhouse, and I'm a big Becky fan too, but I agree with Joe.
Dude, you're losing weight. Stop calling yourself big.
It'd be nice to see her get her ass kicked and see Natty with the title.
Austin was good because he kept losing and he had to chase, and his fucking chase was better than his fucking runs. Smitty, I know you don't care about this match anymore.
I really don't care about either of the women's matches. Besides the fact that I'm just happy to see Ember Moon inside of the title picture finally.
Why? Because she's black.
No, because I've actually liked her work.
That's really what it is.
It's
okay.
This is only a minor part. Like
It's
I've been a fan of her work.
It's only a minor part.
So are you saying
I can't say that any fashion. It's only a minor part.
Are you saying that her being black is a minority stake into why you care about this?
Hell yeah! So I've always been a fan of Ember Moon's work. So I'm happy to finally see her get somewhere into the title picture here.
I agree. I think Ember.
But I also think that when I watch SmackDown, the whole everything they do with Trish and Charlotte right now, they just kind of making both those titles seem kind of second nature to the SummerSlam show.
All right. And Shane McMahon on the Kevin Owens show, at least in the arena. Look, I'll be very honest. I thought SmackDown was great from being in the arena. We've always said that sometimes listening to an announcing thing on anything hurts it. I thought there were great things that I caught that people didn't see, like when the New Day was in the ring waiting for Daniel Bryan and Rowan to come to the ring. Fucking Big E just turned around and just fucking blasted Corey Graves with his jacket. Like he took it off and just turned and was like, whip! Like fastball pitch. I don't know if that came across on fucking TV or if anyone said anything.
Man, that might not vibe with Corey's concussion protocol, you know what I'm saying? He gets hit in the head with the jacket, he might fucking die or something.
I fucking cried laughing when I saw that because I was like, holy shit. So, but there are things that, as me as a fan in the arena, in Little Caesars Arena, I thought SmackDown came off great. I like the matches that were in there. I mean, we got fucking even Dolph Ziggler versus Ali was a great match out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. You know, he's supposed to be Ziggler versus Rey Mysterio. Great. I thought the Trish Stratus Charlotte promo was good. I don't believe it deserved the what chance that it was getting because I think for Trish not really being out there, she didn't cut a bad promo.
She was better than the last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though the last promo she did before, she started off shaky, but she finished strong.
Right. I thought the Kevin Owens show segment was really good. I thought Sami Zayn and Aleister Black was a great match. What a fucking flush black mass to Sami Zayn's
He's
fucking
always
jaw.
right on with that, though,
Yeah,
man.
he
He is
you also
like
watched 205
pinpoint,
too
dude.
Yeah, it was all.
He's
really
always
good.
like, man, it's amazing.
And then,
actually.
of course, I thought the show ended with a spectacular tag match between the New Day, Daniel Bryan, and Rowan. I thoroughly appreciated being at the arena for SmackDown, even as last minute as it was for me.
How was it outside of you being there and you enjoying yourself? How was the crowd? Because I mean, we can hear them. I mean, it's a fun crowd, whatever. But
I try to say as much as I could on our Twitter about how loud the crowd was for certain things, because I also know that sometimes you get the crowd muted a little bit, and I also know that sometimes you over mic the crowd. There were huge pops that people got, I believe, when Ray came out. It was fucking deafening. It was loud. I believe that people were actually interested. You can go up that whole fucking thing, dude. People were fully interested in the Roman Reigns stuff. No one was booing in the audience. As a matter of fact, there were some cheers when he started beating up Buddy Murphy and things like that. I thought, I will say, the thing that stood out the most to me is they set up Aleister Black's entrance, right? His little area where he raises up from.
Cut a promo from down there.
And I was looking at it going, what the fuck is that? It looks like some fucking piss poor castle that they're trying to build, right? And I put it on Twitter, and people were like, oh, that's Aleister Black's entrance. And I looked closer. I was like, oh, my God. It looked janky. It looked so poor. It looked like it was the garage sale version.
Doesn't matter. You can't see that on TV.
But I agreed with that. So when I watched that, and I saw it back on television, I was like, man, because he's just laying there, and he cuts his promo saying, that match is now. I was like, holy fuck, this thing... I would have never guessed that that's what he comes out of. And then some other people said they've seen it on Raw and it's different because it's like more so from the stage rather than...
I'm setting up on the side of it, it sounds like.
You said what?
Where'd they set it up?
Oh, on top of the stage.
Okay.
Rather than on the side of it on Raw and things like that.
That's what I'm saying, like, so on the side.
Yeah. So that was the only thing that just looked completely garage sale to me. over all the stuff that you watch him set up the Kevin Owens show and things like that. But it was the only time that something looked so super garage sale to me, and the time that thing looked the worst. I don't know whose idea it was to get that camera angle on Kevin Owens under the table from the direct side of the table, but you could literally see that table did not touch him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here, guys?
Yeah, but did you, from inside the arena, did you see some of the shots that Shane was laying in?
Yeah.
Oh, he was stiff.
He was
man.
stiff as fuck.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
lazy ass man Terminator.
I mean, he was he was potatoing the fuck out of Kale. Let's
He
be
was.
honest.
I was like, God damn.
Like, dude, like, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Shane.
We all do. You know what I'm saying? Everyone says it's funny. Shane McMahon punches.
I
are the
heard he's
worst
always
looking.
really rough and a little bit reckless and always stiff in the ring.
Yeah.
And I heard Jericho talking about it once, like how he was laying some shit in, and Jericho had to, like, even though it's Vince's kid, like Jericho had to like recede him, like, calm it down, big boy. You know, like, take it easy now. You know,
Even Bubba said the same thing. Bubba Dudley, he said it. He told Shane,
he's overzealous.
Yeah, he's trying to do a little bit too much,
He's a mark for his own self, dude.
which is fine. You should be a mark for your own self. If you're not going to put yourself over, who the fuck is? And it's a little bit
Dolph
different.
Ziggler.
damn.
Man, Smitty, that's two
As
tonight.
Ron Simmons would say, damn.
That's good, Smitty. I'm proud of you for that one. Look at you coming in twice.
You made a funny.
Are you afraid of Z? Is that what it is? When Z's here, you're just like, oh god.
No, 'cause
you turn into Buddy Murphy.
But no, part of me just feel like I don't know. I'm
Smitty
not afraid
Murphy.
of Z.
You're not a fan of Z? What did he do to you?
I'm not a. I didn't say not a fan. I said I'm not afraid of Z.
You guys hear that?
Shots fired.
Right? I'm not a fan of Z.
Oh, man. Post that everywhere.
I can't believe that's
I said I'm not afraid of Z.
He said it again.
right. I can't wait, man. I'm gonna make a fucking sound clip of that. Like Z's gonna come in and be like, I'm not a fan of Z. Whoa, you hear that? He said it about you again. Son of a bitch. All right. So this is basically going into the SummerSlam, which we will make our picks for Pro Wrestling Scorecards. The scorecard is coming out Wednesday on Thursday the 8th at 6 p.m. if that's when you're listening to this show. So we'll give a quick rundown of what they have. Universal Championship match, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Raw Women's Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Natalya in a submission match. The WWE Champion, Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton, which is something that just hasn't been pushed at all. I mean,
They just give video packages.
They've been doing packages.
Cool.
Once a week.
You haven't, outside of what, 2 weeks ago, you had them in the ring together?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so bought into this. SmackDown Women's Championship match, Bayley versus Ember Moon. KO versus Shane McMahon. If Kevin Owens loses, he's out. He'll quit. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, which again, I get it. Bray is on vacation. I mean, not Bray. Finn is on vacation.
He's going on
But there is no, he is on vacation. Have you seen Finn Balor since he lost that IC title? I've seen him say, the
I've
one
seen Ali
fucking
go for
time.
it twice.
Yeah, the one fucking time he was in there was to set up this SummerSlam match, and you ain't seen him fucking back since.
He's supposed to be on Smackville, but that's when he first started taking his hiatus.
So, United States Champion AJ Styles defending against Ricochet. Trish Stratus coming back for one more match against Charlotte Flair. Tickets for SummerSlam available now. That's going to be a great match. Goldberg versus Dalton. Literally, it's in the middle of the matches. They have tickets for SummerSlam available.
Which means
now.
SummerSlam's not sold out.
At all. Goldberg is taking on Dolph Ziggler, and the Cruiserweight Championship match, which was decided at 205 Live.
That was a good
after
match.
SmackDown in a six-pack challenge. Only Lorcan won that, and he'll be facing Drew Gulak for Drew Gulak's Cruiserweight Championship.
So
That'd be good,
the Aleister Black Zayn match is off?
They put it on SmackDown.
They put it on SmackDown.
So are either of them wrestling each other again or anyone else? Nothing?
That's all that's announced right now. And
they
that's
just
why
took it off the card and put it on SmackDown, huh?
That is why
That's kind of
Pro
weird.
Wrestling Scorecard said that they're delaying the SummerSlam card because they're just expecting matches to be announced. That's 10. That's 10 for SummerSlam.
This is
People are-
going to be a 6-hour show, dude.
That's what people are saying. That this is
Just
supposed to be
too
a
fucking
6-hour
long.
fucking SummerSlam.
Too fucking long.
But at the same time, WWE may be like, a lot of people are bitching about this. Let's maybe not. So 10 matches is what we're going to sit at. Maybe we'll throw.
I've said it before. I'll say it's very arrogant of them to expect their fan base to sit down in one place for fucking 6 hours to take in their product. That's a lot.
I don't think it's arrogant at all. People.
I
it.
do.
I think people do it for New Japan every year.
Once a year. They don't have like 6-hour events every fucking time.
I don't know. New Japan has 2-day events, and each one of them are about 5 hours every time they do a big one, like the G1 Climax and stuff like that.
I've been watching the G1 Climax. They're like no longer than 3 hours.
What was it? The last year in United States.
Oh, did you want in America?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, those shows were like 4 hours apiece.
That was like a special standalone show though. It's Wrestle Kingdom, and what's their second biggest one?
Dominion.
So we're gonna move on. We're moving on
Sorry.
from this. Yeah, no problem, because we have
Sorry about
30 minutes left, and we got to make our NXT Takeover Toronto picks. Make sure you guys are going to ProWrestlingScorecards.com. Download your own scorecard for NXT Toronto. We're going to be making ours on our devices because we know how to edit PDFs. And so that's what we're going to do.
Oh, Nick just put something about AEW. They announced that they're having a casino
Smitty.
battle. Okay.
I don't care. We're not going into that right now.
That's why I posted it.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to the NXT TakeOver Toronto scorecard. 5 matches, and there will be a fucking all championships will be defended. The women's, the North American, the tag team, and the NXT. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The first match is the women's championship match. Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim. There are 3 extras. Fall type, near falls, plus or minus 1. Remember, all of those are if it's a 2 count. And will there be outside interference, yes or no? Smitty, you're going to be kicking this one off, then Joe, then me, and as far as who's going everything first, and then Nick.
You need to pull up Z's. He has his picks in already.
Okay, yeah, I'll pull it up since I got the extra device. All right, which I have. So actually, we're going to start off with Z, then you, Smitty, then Joe, then me, then Nick. Weird, because it's completely different on this one than it is on the actual scorecard. So we're going to start off Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim. Z has Mia Yim by pin, 5 near falls, yes to outside interference. Smitty.
I have Mia Yim winning as well. Winning by pinfall, 4 near falls, no to outside interference. Because over the last couple of weeks, she's taken out the other 2 girls.
That's fine. Joe.
All right. Sorry. All right, I got it. Sharon Corbin winning. Submission, 4 near falls, yes to outside interference.
All right. I have Shayna Baszler also winning by submission, 3 near falls, and yes to outside interference. Nick?
I got Shayna Baszler submission, 6 near falls, and yes.
All right. Up next, the North American Championship, Velveteen Dream defending against Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. There are 3 extras for this. Fall type, how many near falls, and who is going to be the one that takes the fall? Smitty, we're leading off with you.
I have Dream retaining by pinfall, 6 near falls, and Strong taking a fall.
All right. Joe.
I got Dream retaining. Let me click on it again. Pinfall, 7 near falls, and I also have Roderick Strong taking the pin.
All right. I'm going to go with Roderick Strong by pinfall. I'm going to have 6 near falls. Give me 06 for a second there. And who takes the fall? Pete Dunne. Z has Pete Dunne winning by pinfall, Dream taking the fall, and 8 near falls. Nick?
I've got Velveteen Dream. Pinfall, 8 near falls, Roderick Strong hand.
Taking it?
Yep.
Nice. Women's grudge match. Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. Who's going to win? 3 extras. Fall type. How many moonsaults? Plus or minus 1. And match time. Plus or minus 1 in minutes. Again, it is rounded up. So if it's 11:29, it's 11-minute match. If it's 11:30, it's a 12-minute match. Joe, you're kicking this one off.
Can I ask a question real quick?
No, but go ahead.
What are Io Shirai's and Candice LeRae's finishers? I'm sorry.
Io Shirai is the moonsault.
That's her finisher?
Yeah.
All right. That's all I need to know.
I wonder though. Let me look at the card, because it has.
I mean, does she? I'm a fan of Io Shirai, but I don't know her whole moveset. Does she have like a submission finisher?
No, she doesn't.
No.
Okay,
And it
that's
says
all I needed to know.
any type of moonsault. Now I don't know, because that could be a moonsault to the outside.
Yeah, that doesn't
something
matter.
like that.
That
yeah.
doesn't matter.
She does springboard
A
moonsault.
moonsault is a
Yeah.
moonsault.
Yep.
I get it. All right, so I got Io Shirai winning by pinfall, 3 moonsaults, 17-minute match time.
All right. I have Io Shirai winning by pinfall as well. I have 4 moonsaults and 11-minute match time. Z has Io Shirai winning by submission, 2 moonsaults and 12-minute match time. Smitty.
I have Io Shirai winning by pinfall, 4 moonsaults, and a 13-minute match time.
I've got Io by pin, 3 moonsaults, and a 12-minute match.
All right. Weird. Up next, the Tag Team Championship match, the Street Profits defending against the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. There are 4 extras in this fall type. Who makes the fall, who takes the fall, and the number of aerial moves, plus or minus 1. I'm kicking this one off. I have Undisputed Era winning by pinfall. Man, I don't know. I might want to switch that. Street Profits are just so good on Raw, but they might get pulled up.
I think they're getting pulled up. That's why.
But it's okay. I'm going with it. By pinfall, who makes the fall? I have Kyle O'Reilly making the fall. Who takes the fall? Fucking Montez Ford. Number of aerial moves? Fucking 6. What do you got, Smitty?
So I have looking it up right. I just Undisputed Era winning by pinfall. Kyle O'Reilly pinning Angelo Dawkins, 5 aerial moves.
Joe.
I got Street Profits, pinfall, Montez Ford pinning Bobby Fish, 11 aerials.
All right. Z has the Undisputed Era going over by pinfall. Fish pinning Montez Ford, 5 aerial moves. Nick.
We got the Street Profits by pin, Montez Ford pinning Kyle O'Reilly with 8 aerial moves.
Nice.
It's probably one of the hardest NXT cards, actually.
It's actually a really good NXT card, man. Up next is the NXT Championship match. 2 out of 3 falls. Quite a few things for this card. So, obviously, you're going to pick your winner. Next, you're going to pick who makes the first fall. The time at the first fall. Again, plus or minus 1. If you pick 6 minutes and it was anywhere between 5:30 and 6:29, you're going to get that right. But if it's one of those, it's going to round up or away. Then who makes the second fall, the time of the second fall, and the third fall stipulation. Wait, what? Am I missing? What?
What's it? It says, like, because they've not announced. Oh, damn, I got to watch NXT this week. They may have announced it by this week, but the third stipulation has not been announced. Regal was supposed to be announcing the third stipulation this week on NXT.
So, I've missed NXT the last couple weeks.
So pretty much the 2 out of 3 falls match. Gargano chooses stipulation, Cole chooses stipulation, and William, if it goes to a third, Regal chooses stipulation for the third fall.
What are the first 2?
I know Gargano picked a street fight. I forgot what Adam Cole picked, but the third stipulation was not announced yet. I think, if I remember last week, Regal said he was supposed to announce it this week on NXT.
With 2 out of 3 fall match with special stipulations. Now, let's be very honest. The announcing of that makes me give a shit a little bit more about this match, because I said it when it first announced. I was like, we just seeing this again.
I know Gargano picked a street fight. I forgot what Cole picked.
To choose a stipulation for one fall. July 24th edition of NXT, the competitor has announced their stipulation, with Gargano opting for a street fight for his fall and Cole invoking a classic old school wrestling match for his.
So that's a normal.
So basically, Regal's announcing the fall at the show.
Yeah.
All right. So that's where we're going with this then. So what will Regal announce as a stipulation? What will be the final fall type? And what's the match time plus or minus 1? Oh, I apologize to everyone. So usually I'm so fucking caught up on NXT. I've just been so busy.
I was caught up besides this week.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So, shit. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to Z leading it off. Z has Adam Cole as the ultimate winner of this. He thinks Adam Cole will get the first fall at 6 minutes. Johnny will get the second fall at 14 minutes. And he picks his third fall stipulation to be the loser leaves NXT. Final fall type will be pin, 32-minute match time by Z. Smitty, you're next.
So I had Adam Cole winning. I had Gargano winning the first fall in 11 minutes. The second one, Cole winning in 13. And a 15-minute ladder match should be the last stipulation. The last stipulation for the last match.
It's going to be a ladder match?
Yeah.
All right. And
I'm trying to. It says, but also on the card it says fall type, but
so
it's a ladder match.
You have to, so you're just climbing the ladder. There's no fall type.
Yeah, but
what's at the top of the ladder though? The title.
Yeah.
All right.
So is
what are the first two fall stipulations?
Street fight and a regular match.
Yeah. All right. Is Gargano's fall first?
That's one thing I'm not sure of. I'm pretty sure that Cole's.
See, because I'm a little behind on NXT. I was gonna pick no DQ street fight, whatever you want to call it, for the third fall. I didn't know that was already picked.
Right.
Yep.
So on the July 24th, they
Gargano announced his first.
Okay. Gargano announced his first.
Yeah, and then Cole did it later in the show that week. And that's when Regal said pretty much, if it's not determined by the other, so I'll pick the fall. And
so most likely it's going to be Cole's fall first.
Yeah,
because you're probably going to go.
Yeah.
You're going to go. No. I'm saying you're going to go Cole. It's going to be old school wrestling, then street fight, then something else. So you're saying are you
switch that around.
So you think that Cole's making the first fall, Gargano's making the second fall? Okay. Joe.
All right,
Shout out to Pro Wrestling Scorecards, ProWrestlingScorecards.com. Get your own scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fucking great card they put together. A lot of different type of extras that they put on this one.
All right, I got Adam Cole winning. Adam Cole taking the first fall. I got 5-minute time for the first fall. Gargano takes second fall. 11-minute time for the second fall. Third fall stipulation is going to be a submission match, which makes the fall type submission. And then I got a match time of 28 minutes.
All right. I am completely baffled on how I want to pick this one. I do have Adam Cole winning. I have Gargano taking the first fall at 7 minutes. Adam Cole taking the second fall at 16 minutes. The third fall stipulation, I'm going to go with exactly what I thought this fucking match should have been in the first place when I first complained about this. I'm going to go with a last man standing match.
That actually is a good one.
Which means that the final fall type is gonna be.
It's like if it's like a special match, the whole match stipulation is only pin submission, count out, and DQ.
I'm putting pin in just in case it's not. But obviously, if it's a last man standing match or a ladder match, it's going to be something negated because you can't do that. So I'm choosing pin, and the match time. I think Z's really close with this. I'm going to pick 29-minute match time
for just the last fall or just the whole thing in general.
Total match time in general.
Oh, match time in general. Oh, I'm switching that to like 35.
35. What did you originally have?
I thought when I put it down, I was thinking like the last fall in general. Because I was thinking about the whole match and like.
Can I ask you a question? Why would the last fall in general be a different time than the full match time anyway?
Because like the way it was set up is match time, the first fall time, second fall time. I was figuring like that was like
no
total
time. So did you go like with what is your first number?
So for the NXT Championship, I had the first fall at 11 minutes, second fall at 13.
So you thought it was going to be a 2-minute time difference between falls, or you thought like 11 minutes and then 13 minutes later?
Yeah.
You have to pick when in the time frame, how long after. The time of the match at the second fall, not the time between the first and the second fall. That's why the match time is the final number of how long you think the match is.
Okay, so I interpret that way differently then.
Okay, so you have 11 minutes, then you're going 24 minutes.
24.
And then you're going 35?
Yeah, 35.
35. All right. Joe, did you have that right?
Yeah, I did.
Understanding properly?
Yeah.
Okay. While you were away, I'll tell you my picks again real quick. Nick, we're giving you another second. I picked Adam Cole to go overall, Gargano to take the first fall at 7 minutes, Adam Cole to take the second fall at 16 minutes, and the third fall stipulation to be a last man standing match. And just choosing pin because obviously it's not. I don't think it's going to be a fall type at all.
Well,
and then 29 minutes.
Last man standing match, the winner would win by like a TKO, like a count out.
But that's not a count out.
Well, it's like a standing count out in boxing, not out of the. You know what I mean? That's not a pin.
No,
there's got to be another term for it.
No. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to count. I think it's just going to be a wash. There's not going to be 3 points there, no matter what you pick. But I'm choosing pin in case it is something that has a pin involved, and Cole gets it win by a pin.
But if it was a last man standing match and someone did win by the loser, obviously not getting up by the 10 count, how would you articulate that as a fall type?
But I'm saying that's why it's just a knockout.
Then how come you don't pick knockout?
Because knockout's not on here.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Count out, but yeah, that's not. I see what you're saying.
I'm just
Can't you write it in though?
No, I can't anyway.
Okay. You can. I think you can with names if a name doesn't show up.
Yeah. But I'm choosing pin. However, after we talk to Pro Wrestling Scorecards, if they say it's also possible, if that's what it wants to be, and we can make it, you're right. I will go with a knockout because that's what it is. Nick, you're up.
We got Adam Cole ultimately winning. He's going to take the first fall, an 11-minute match for the first fall. Johnny Gargano is going to take the second fall at 18 minutes. And I liked Z's idea with the loser leaves NXT. Pin, 27-minute match time.
All right. Up next is the announced table destruction. English and Spanish, safe or destroyed. Smitty, you're leading this one off.
Both tables will be safe.
All right. Joe?
I got English destroyed, Spanish safe.
All right. I also have English destroyed and Spanish safe. Z has both tables safe. Nick?
I have English destroyed and Spanish safe.
All right. Up next are the unscheduled appearances. 5 people in NXT that you think are going to make their appearance. Again, Shayna Baszler does have Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir listed with her. So you cannot pick those as for scheduled appearances. Your scheduled appearances as it stands are Adam Cole, Angelo Dawkins, Bobby Fish, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, Jessamyn Duke, Johnny Gargano, Kyle O'Reilly, Marina Shafir, Mia Yim, Montez Ford, Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong, Shayna Baszler, and Velveteen Dream. So you can't pick any of those and get 5 points for them. Joe, you're leading this one off.
I already, fuck, man, I don't know. Matt Riddle.
Okay.
That's the only thing I got right now. Seriously, like I didn't even see that they listed Shafir and Duke, so those are my other 2 picks.
All right, well, start giving us names, bro.
Okay. Fuck, dude. I don't know.
Fuck, dude. Fuck, dude is listed.
Christian, KO, and the other KO, Cassius Ohno.
He's going for the Canadians here.
I don't know. Man.
They are in T.O.
How many is that? That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I need. Fuck, man. I don't know. Shawn Michaels.
He's a trainer in NXT.
Oh, that's
he doesn't count.
Fuck. Sorry, Stucco.
Bailey. I don't know. The unscheduled appearances for NXT are always so whacked out, dude.
Because sometimes they just get somebody that just signed.
Yeah, or
it's
it's like just someone from the main roster and you have no idea who it's going to be. It's like, oh, look, there's KO, you know.
Right. Okay. Z has, if this will help you, Forgotten Sons, which are all 3 of them he's counting. ACH and Trevor Lee. He goes, whatever their NXT names.
Miles Jordan and Cameron Grimes, who are actually in the NXT Breakout Final next week.
Okay. So those are his 5. I have Matt Riddle. I have Tommaso Ciampa.
He showed up for the pre-show last one.
It's he what?
He showed up for the pre-show at the last takeover.
What, the extras?
No, I lost my whole fucking card because I hit back and I didn't hit save.
Oh, that's
Now I'm fucking pissed.
Bum, 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 bum.
It's weird because this is popping up as incomplete. Usually when you finish it, it says complete.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's gonna do. Oh yeah. So anyway, Matt Riddle, Tommaso Ciampa. I think that let's see, Killian Dane just attacked Matt Riddle.
Oh, they were supposed to have a match tonight, ended in no contest.
All right. So that being said, yeah. What did you say their names were again, Smitty?
Miles Jordan and Cameron Grimes.
Miles Jordan,
Miles.
Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, I guess can I change some of my picks
for
for
sure,
that?
man. So yeah, I have Matt Riddle, Tommaso Ciampa, Miles Jordan, Cameron Grimes, and I'm going to go with. I agree. This is fucking tough, especially when you missed a couple weeks. A fucking it.
What are the
Those are my.
What are the
4.
Forgotten Son guys' names? I fucking hate those guys.
So you got Jackson Riker, former
Wesley
Blake. And
Yeah.
Steve Cutler, whatever his name is.
Jackson Riker's not even on here.
What's fucking Punishment Martinez's new name?
Oh, Damian Priest.
Damian Priest.
Because they got him in a program. Actually, they got him in a program with Keith Lee that just kind of started.
All right, so Matt Riddle, Tommaso Ciampa, Miles Jordan, Cameron Grimes, and Damian Priest. Smitty, who you got?
I got Miles Jordan, Cameron Grimes, Killian Dane, Matt Riddle, and Edge.
Oh, because Beth Phoenix. I get it. All right, Joe, you said you were switching up?
Yeah. All right. I got Riddle, ACH, Wesley Blake, Keith Lee, and Damian Priest.
What's ACH's?
Miles Jordan.
Okay.
I had to type that in because
Yeah. Nick.
We got Tony Storm, Jackson Riker, Wesley Blake, Matt Riddle, and Bailey.
Ooh, Bailey. I have Ronda Rousey. Just kidding. All right, that's it for us. We'll make our SummerSlam picks very soon, ladies and gentlemen. You will see those. We will post them up, and we're gonna have fun. Remember, man, SummerSlam, fucking SummerSlam,
mate.
SummerSlam.
Me and your wife.
Chew on that mayonnaise.
Gross is at Buffalo Wild Wings in downtown Detroit. If you are in the area, 1218 Randolph Street, Detroit, Michigan, this Sunday, we will be down there, second floor. You want to be there, man. You want to be there for the prizes. You want to be there for the giveaways. You want to be there because it's a fucking amazing time. We're going to have a blasty fucking blast. You want to be there. You want to be there. You want to be there. No cover. Family friendly. Food and drink specials. Prizes to win. Things to have fun with. Mainly Nick's face.
Sunday.
Sunday, SummerSlam Sunday. Kids tickets, just $5. Just kidding. No cover for your kids. Or you. That's right. It's free. Come on and see us. Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
All the Smitty's meats you can eat.
before we go, there was
fine.
there was a recent announcement by AEW. Okay. It's kind of a big deal, ladies and germs. I didn't even realize I was logged into my Bang Bros.
You pay for it?
Look, man, sometimes you gotta, these hoes need money too. Okay.
I got Pornhub for free.
Oh. All right, fine, whatever. AEW When did they announce this, Nick? Where do you see it?
Came up on Ringside News, I don't know, maybe half hour ago or so.
All right. Because they announced that the women's title is going to be fought for.
Oh.
On the
Initial show.
First ever TNT show from Washington, D.C., October 2nd. There it is. I found it. And AEW announces Casino Battle Royal for women's title shot.
Royale.
Sorry, Royale with cheese. It's on Ringside News, as you said. And the article reads like this, written by H. Jenkins. AEW's All Out event will take place August 31st, and fans will want to tune in during the buy-in event, which is their pre-show, because just like at Double or Nothing, the winner of the Casino Battle Royal match will get a future title shot. The big difference this time around is that the title shot will be the future AEW Women's title. It was revealed during the latest Road to All Out that the Casino Battle Royal match before All Out will be exclusively for the women. They announced a few participants already with Jazz, Ivelisse, Teal Piper.
Yes, sweet.
And more will follow. Teal Piper is the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Roddy Piper.
I hope Nyla Rose is in that
Ivelisse,
match.
baby.
It's not just me.
And yeah, so with those couple announced, looks like that person's gonna.
How many participants altogether? 20?
Don't know.
Are they going to bring them out in groups of 5 again?
I don't know.
Ooh, intrigue. I like it. It's the word of the day.
Ivelisse.
All right. Moving on.
Gross. The way you used to said that, I don't want. Ew.
He did it again.
Billy Corgan made an announcement.
For the NWA.
The NWA.
It's gonna have a weekly TV show.
They already did, kind of.
No, they were doing that Hollywood shit, whatever
Billy
it was.
Corgan?
Yeah,
Like
he's
Billy
the owner.
Corgan?
He's on the NWA.
Really?
Yeah.
And James Storm is your national champion?
Took it off Colt Cabana.
NWA president and owner Billy Corgan released a video today announcing that the promotion will begin producing weekly wrestling TV series from Atlanta, Georgia soon. The first tapings will take place Monday, September 30th and Tuesday, October 1st. No word on the location of the tapings or where the series will air, but it looks to be a studio series that will see episodes taped and then released periodically as they do with WWE, NXT, and Impact Wrestling, among other promotions.
ROH.
Corgan said it's one thing to say you're rebooting the NWA. It's another thing to run matches on someone else's stage. We're very grateful to those people that shared their stage with us, most recently Ring of Honor, which was an incredible opportunity. But now it's our time to step forward, and it's time to bring the NWA back into the spotlight and run its own oxygen. So we're very excited to announce that in October in Atlanta, we'll be doing our own television again.
Didn't mention the station yet, though.
No.
Channel.
It just said he's filming in Atlanta.
Yeah. So.
We know it's not going to be Turner.
What? Why not?
Because AEW.
Idiot. Ladies and gentlemen.
You're not wrong.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you go to www.breakingdownthering.com, and you can find us on all of our social medias. You can check out the host pages and everything that we got hooked up. Make sure you do that. If you guys are interested at all in maybe coming on our show, bdrcast@gmail.com. Send an email. We have no problem fucking talking to people. We fucking love you. You can catch us out at StarCast, Labor Day weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you guys are in the area, come on out to StarCast. Fucking have a goddamn blast at StarCast, man. There's so much going on. We'll be walking around. We'll be at our table. We'll be fucking talking to fans. If you're at fucking StarCast, we want to talk to you. We want to talk to people, ask them how their fucking thing is on Sunday after AEW's All Out. We'll be talking to quite a few people about the show, how they felt about it. Sit down with us at our table, have a little bit of a conversation. We hope to see you, and we can't wait to see you at StarCast. For your ring crew,
Smitty.
One and only Ricochet.
Former and future champ, Whole fucking Joe.
and for the lazy boy that stayed at home today, and for me, the almighty one. Thank you so much for listening. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out.